Walk into any health aisle today, and you will see chia seeds on everything. Videos show chia water every morning. Blogs sprinkle them on smoothies, yogurt bowls, and salads like it is a magic fix for stubborn belly fat. And to be fair, chia seeds have real benefits. They deliver plant omega-3s, solid fiber, and they swell with water to help you feel fuller. But here is the uncomfortable truth many people discover after weeks of perfect compliance. The waist does not move, the scale barely budges, and the lower belly looks the same. That is not because you failed. It is because fullness alone rarely unlocks belly fat, especially the deeper visceral fat that wraps around organs and drives insulin resistance. Think of belly fat like a fortress with several locked gates. Satiety helps with one gate, but most people also need better control of blood sugar and insulin, less chronic inflammation, and healthier hormone signaling. That is where a different, research-backed seed duo comes in. It is simple, inexpensive, and surprisingly powerful. Ground flax seeds and fenugreek. Each one turns a different key. Together, they create a metabolic environment that is friendlier to fat burning and less likely to store energy around your waist. Before we go deeper, if you value clear, evidence-based explanations without hype, tap like and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more people who are tired of trends and ready for results. Let's start with flax. Most people know flax is healthy. Fewer people know why it consistently shows up in weight and waist studies. The big levers are viscous soluble fiber, plant omega-3s, and a family of compounds called lignans. Soluble fiber from flax absorbs water and forms a gel in your gut. That gel slows the speed at which food leaves your stomach and the rate at which glucose enters your bloodstream. Slower rise, steadier curve, calmer insulin. When insulin is not spiking and crashing, your body can tap stored fat instead of being told to stash more of it. The plant omega-3 fat in flax, alpha-linolenic acid, helps put out the small, constant fires of inflammation that make fat loss more stubborn. Cooler tissues cooperate, and lignans, which are unusually high in flax, support healthy estrogen metabolism through the liver. That matters for many women in perimenopause and menopause, where hormone shifts push fat storage toward the middle. Better clearance and balance take pressure off the belly fat switch. There is a practical detail here that makes or breaks flax. Form. Whole flax seeds often pass through the digestive tract intact, which means the good stuff never gets released. Ground flax is what research usually uses. Freshly ground is ideal. If you buy it pre-ground, keep it sealed and refrigerated to protect the delicate fats. Typical amounts studied are around 2 tablespoons per day, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, spread across meals in yogurt, smoothies, oatmeal, or simply mixed into water and consumed before it thickens. If your diet has been low in fiber, easing up to that amount with extra water is kinder to your digestion. Now fenugreek. It is not trendy because the taste is strong, but the effects are well documented, especially for appetite regulation and blood sugar control. Fenugreek seeds are rich in galactomannan, a viscous soluble fiber that swells when hydrated. When taken before a meal, it slows gastric emptying and reduces the size of the post-meal glucose spike. Smaller spike, smaller insulin surge, fewer cravings afterward, more stable energy for the next few hours. Over time, this pattern helps improve insulin sensitivity, the way your cells respond to insulin S signal. So the body uses what you eat for energy instead of shuttling more of it into storage around your waist. Research also notes benefits in groups that often struggle with abdominal fat, including people with insulin resistance patterns and women with polycystic ovary syndrome. Fenugreek can be used as soaked whole seeds or as a standardized extract. Soaking the seeds in water softens them and increases the availability of their fiber. Many people chew the softened seeds and sip a little of the soaking water shortly before a meal. Others prefer capsules to skip the taste. Common supplemental amounts fall in the few hundred milligrams to 1 gram range per serving, taken before a larger meal. As with any fiber-rich ingredient or supplement, starting low and paying attention to how you feel is a smart move. What makes these 2 seeds compelling is not one magical mechanism, but how their strengths stack. Flax lends fullness, steadier blood sugar, less inflammation, and hormone support. Fenugreek tempers the largest glucose surges and quiets the eat more now signals that follow them. Together, they lower the day's insulin area under the curve, which is a fancy way of saying they reduce the total insulin burden your body has to deal with. Lower, steadier insulin makes fat more available to burn. That is the environment in which the stubborn stuff finally starts to move. If you are wondering what this means for visceral fat, the deeper fat linked to health risk, look at the measurements researchers care about most. Scale weight is noisy. Waist circumference at the navel is a clearer signal. In trials using flax regularly, participants did not just see changes on the scale, they also saw reductions in waist size. That matters because a shrinking waist often reflects less visceral fat and better metabolic health. In studies of Fenugreek, improvements show up in post-meal glucose and insulin responses, appetite ratings, and over time, markers of insulin sensitivity. People report steadier afternoons, fewer evening cravings, and less of that stored energy feeling after dinner. Do I have to give up chia? Not at all. Chia still brings fiber and can help you feel full. But if you have tried chia faithfully and your waist has not moved, chia may have been addressing only one gate in that fortress. Flax plus fenugreek addresses more of them at once. The goal is not to collect seeds. It is to change the signals your body is getting across the day. A few safety notes keep this responsible and effective. If you have a history of bowel obstruction, talk to your clinician before adding any concentrated fiber. If you are on blood thinners or have a bleeding disorder, ask about flax because of its omega-3 content. If you take medications for blood sugar, including insulin, speak with your healthcare provider before adding fenugreek. It can enhance glucose control and may change your needs. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, get specific guidance first. None of this replaces medical advice. People often ask about timing. There is no single correct clock time, but there are useful principles. Many prefer flax earlier in the day because it is easy to blend into a first meal and helps set a steadier pattern for the hours that follow. Fenugreek is often used before a larger meal, and for many households that is dinner, when portions are bigger and the body is naturally a bit more insulin resistant in the evening. That does not make timing a rule. It just explains why those choices are common. What matters most is consistency over weeks, not perfection on any one day. Another frequent question is how this fits with intermittent fasting or different diet styles. Flax and fenugreek are agnostic. They can support a time-restricted eating pattern by smoothing the transitions between meals and reducing the size of your biggest glucose surges when you do eat. They can sit comfortably in a higher protein approach by helping you reach fiber targets and keeping digestion regular. They can support a moderate carb pattern by slowing carbohydrate absorption and promoting better blood sugar control. They are tools that steady the system you already have, not a new identity you must adopt. What should you expect to feel if this is working for you? Early signs often have nothing to do with the mirror. Afternoon hunger gets quieter. The desire to graze after dinner fades. Energy feels more even between meals. Sleep is less jumpy because blood sugar swings are smaller at night. These are the lived experience hints that insulin and appetite are calming down. Visual changes, especially around the waist, tend to lag behind those feelings but follow them with consistent use and sensible eating. If you want a simple way to track whether this is helping, do what researchers do. Measure your waist at the navel, relaxed, once a week under similar conditions. Note your afternoon hunger on a 1 to 10 scale a few days per week. Jot down whether you had evening cravings and whether you ate after your usual dinner. This is not a challenge or a plan. It is just honest, low-effort data that tells you whether the inputs are shifting the outputs you care about. There are 3 easy mistakes to avoid. First, using whole flax and expecting the same results as ground. Your digestion does not mill seeds, your teeth and blender do. Second, sprinkling amounts so small they cannot move physiology. Research amounts are closer to spoonfuls than pinches. Third, judging the whole approach by what the bathroom scale says in the first 10 days. The scale is loud and moody. Your waist, your hunger, and your cravings are steadier instruments. None of this needs to be complicated or expensive. Flax is widely available and affordable. Fenugreek is inexpensive in seed form and reasonable as a standardized extract. Neither requires elaborate recipes. A spoon and a glass of water will do. What they ask for is consistency and a little patience while your biology settles into a calmer rhythm. If you have been waiting for something that is not a miracle drink, not a crash diet, and not a punishing workout routine, This is a quiet, sustainable way to change the signals your body hears all day long. Flax helps your meals land softer. Fenugreek helps your biggest meal spike less. Together, they lower the daily insulin load, cool the burn of chronic inflammation, and make belly fat less sticky. Give your body steady inputs, and it will do what it was designed to do. If this breakdown helped you understand why some healthy, dietary habits fall short and how to use smarter ones instead, tap like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments if you have used flax or fenugreek before. Your experience helps others who are just starting to figure this out. Thanks for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.